Hey, this is take two. I just did this video and did it for about 20 minutes, and then I realized that my camera had run out of space, so I wasn't too happy with that. Took a break and I'm back. Not that you guys would know that, but anyway, I had to. That was my venting. I came across this thing. It's the Innovation Super GB Booster, and this is for the PlayStation. And oddly enough, it has a PlayStation trademark. Of course, Innovation registered trademark circle, and nothing about the Game Boy. So this is not endorsed by Nintendo, or PlayStation, but I think it was probably allowed by PlayStation. It has to do with the parallel port. That's where it's plugged into the back. Sony allowed this so third party and whoever could kind of come behind them and make accessories. And Sony did not make a whole lot of accessories for it, but there was a bunch of third party stuff that did. Like the game enhancer, which I may do a video on later. So this guy is to play Game Boy games. As odd as that sounds, and it does seem to work okay. It comes with a one-page manual that I'm ripping. And I'm not going to read all of this. It comes with its own in-game ROM of some really horrible game that I'll show you. It comes with a game trainer, which is pretty cool. And what that does is that allows you to compare hex values. Say you're playing a game and you got 3 lives, you're going down to 2 lives. As long as you started it before you ended the 3rd life, and then you stop it after the 2nd life has, well, taken place, I guess. Then you can compare the two, find out the values, and re-establish the 3rd life and just play a game with 3 lives. And you can die as much as you want. What I'm going to do is plug a Return to Samus in. And when I had a disc in, it experienced some sort of problems. It wouldn't do much of anything. It would hang. It would just go to the screen and hang. It goes through a glitching thing when you put the cartridge in. Rebound. It's been doing this. This thing is very finicky. I'm not sure if it is because the back is fitting so tight with the Game Boy cart in the front. It's pretty loose, or this thing was probably used. Innovation Super GB Booster. Well, there we go. We got Tetris. The video seems to work just fine. It's somewhat responsive. I can't get the sound to work though. I have tried and tried and tried, and I'm not sure what's going on. It could be connection in the parallel port, which is, I keep calling that, but it's a modified version, as I understand it, of an actual parallel port from a PC. Just different form factor on the back of the original PlayStation. And the video seems to work okay. There's this odd thing, you can press L1 and R1, well at the same time, you don't toggle it like you just hold. Go to palette, and you get 4 colors basically. X brings it down, O brings it up. Select. And this is some bizarre, I don't know why you would want to do this, but the fact that it is an option is actually pretty cool. It's pretty trippy. Go back and you can play Tetris on LSD, I guess. Once you turn the system off, this whole thing doesn't keep, and it's done. There's the cheats. You can put in hex values, and it says it has it on the bottom right there. It includes powerful cheat cartridge, so you can create your own GB cheat codes. I don't know. The thing is a sort of a cartridge itself. So you got 8 slots there, and they're 8 across. But I don't know. Searched a bunch online. Can't find a whole lot about this thing at all. Screen size normal, large, That makes it from kind of like a portion of the screen to what this is with the borders. That's what large is. Go back to that. And there you go, it just magnifies it. Again, L1 plus R1. The trainer, and that is the deal where you can compare hex values. I've not messed around with this at all. I feel like that would be a big selling point on this deal. And maybe that generates into the cheats. So if you find something and you settle on it, you can pop that into the cheats. I don't know. The borders don't seem to do anything. Frame skip does. Depending on the game. You're probably not going to want that on Tetris. Press over and it seems to go over a couple. It counts it. For a couple counts. It speeds up the clock basically. What would be the internal Gameboy clock. Video sync on. I found for most games sync on and frame skip 2 is the best. Although there's no perfect setting for this thing. I'll pull out Tetris 2. And I tried it with the Game Boy Advance flash cart, and it doesn't fit. So that thing is not going to work. And I can try it with Zelda, Link's Awakening, and it does not seem to want to boot with the original one, or even DX. I do not know why. See, this is what it boots to when it can't do anything, or if you don't put a card in it. And this is a horrible, horrible game. So basically, these guys built in this this game for when nothing else can boot, or when you have no Game Boy game, or you don't put anything in, and it is atrocious. This is no slowdown. You shoot up there. First I thought it was some sort of breakout game, but it's not whatsoever. I don't know what you're supposed to do. It's very confusing. So you can still do the L1 and R1. Get options. Frame skip if you want to try to go through it quicker, I suppose. This is a little more tolerable, although the game still sucks. I don't know if it was to show something between the guys that design the system or the hardware, and then make some sort of deal with the software guys to be able to try to, I don't know, make their stuff compatible or make sure it works. I don't know why this is on here. It's agonizing. I died. Alright, that's it. That is quite enough for that. I mean, as you can hear, rewind a little bit, that kind of melted my brain. I was just babbling for a sec. The F1 race. Let's see if this works. And I don't know if this is going to work with any Pokemon games. I don't have any, so I can't really test that out. It does work with Tetris. Works with Metroid 2. F1 race. It does not seem to. And again, this may be just my copy of this thing. Well, I can't even say copy. This my hardware deal of the Super GB Booster. Because it was really hard to squeeze into the back of the PlayStation, and the cartridges for the Game Boy are really easy to pop in. We got Final Fantasy Adventure, and it may be a software error. I doubt it because it doesn't seem to be glitching out. It's just kind of slow emulation. It seems to me like it's a hardware error when they don't work, because they either work or they don't. They don't really seem to work a little bit and then crap out. Tetris seems to work fine. Not much else does. So it's a hit or miss. And again, I got this thing on eBay. So maybe it was banged around a little bit. I shook the thing around. Make sure there's no stuff rattling around in the plastic. And I took my trusty tiny screwdriver and tried to open it up, and the screws in the back actually kind of fell apart. They may be really old aluminum, or they may have been, I don't know, crap plastic coated in metal looking stuff. I really don't know. This is such a weird thing made by possibly innovation that I don't know how to review this or what to call it as far as what the hell it actually is. It's just weird that it works in the first place, and it's made to play Game Boy games on the PlayStation, on the original PSX. So that's my video. I know this is not like definitive in any respect as far as what this thing can do, because this thing is such a weird ass anomaly that I don't really know how to do a video on this. Just plug stuff in and see, Tetris seems to work. It says Game Boy Color games will work. This is not one. Link's Awakening, the first one. Again, doesn't do anything. Oh, there we go. And Rebound. So, honestly, if you come across this thing in a flea shop, pick it up. If you see it for more than $10, don't buy it. I just wanted to cover this thing because it's so weird that honestly you probably shouldn't get it.